Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack Productions. Today, Bankrupt joins again by Jimmy and Jake.
Prove it.
What's going on, y'all?
And today's matchup is Jimmy versus Steve. Steve couldn't join us today, but the matchup is U7 Red Gohan taking on Towa Tokens, which, yeah, there's buttons, links, description, check them out. Let's get into it, guys.
I don't know what there is to get into.
Well, you want to start off by explaining why you brought such a beloved deck that you do enjoy, but you don't bring out too often.
No, I don't want to.
Okay, fair enough.
You want to talk about your sleeves?
Yeah, I guess my sleeves are pretty neat.
Those are the Dragon Shield ones?
I think so. Yeah. So I got gaslit into thinking that we were having a fun old time at the shop where we're all just gonna bring some fun decks and just chill out with the new set coming soon. We didn't want to get too crazy with it. So I brought out Token Towa. I just had it built. I don't really use any of the cards in other decks, so I just always kept it built. Brought it out, and everybody just started slapping down actually good decks that will absolutely decimate Token Towa. So I was a little upset, but I do still really, really enjoy this deck, and I had a lot of fun with it. And I think there is some merit to it actually being pretty good. So I made a massive blunder right off my first action of the game, which was charging Crisis Crusher. I was thinking, Steve he doesn't play BMS. I know he doesn't have it, so I'm just gonna charge it, forgetting that Gohan centers around very, very powerful one-drop Gohan that is half of Gohan's draw engine. So I slapped that down, not even thinking about it. Passed my turn, and he plays this Unison, and I was like, I feel like there's a one drop here that's really good. And lo and behold, he plays the Gohan. Of course, he's going to get value off of it, but being able to just have Crisis Crusher up and just get rid of that once per turn is really strong. My tokens are 5k, and I could just turn them sideways into Gohan, and I do spawn a lot of tokens, so that is certainly a way to deal with it, because if he plays it off the Unison, it will be in rest mode. If he decides to hardcast one, then it makes it a problem.
It's got barrier too, right?
No, I don't believe so.
Oh, okay.
And also, just real quick point out, yes, Jimmy has kind of like two decks going on here, but one is mainly just for his Mortal Kombat tokens. He tends to shuffle them beforehand and then just surprise himself.
I mean, it's pretty obvious because I've already played a token.
I know, I'm just specifying it. So I also play against Steve, and I know his deck, like how Jimmy says, it really just synergizes around the idea of just drawing a ton of cards, then trying to go with either a big hand or play some boss monster cards at some point in the game, which he can easily do with the way this deck draws. And he does play the Divine Presence Son Goku, I think it is. It's the 4-drop one that activate battle for 2 energy to play it.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely likes that card. And he likes to... I know when I talked to him about it, this Gogeta is kind of like his backup Unison. He prefers to play the Frieza because of all the benefits from the Unison and the leader between spirit boosting and getting the free combo off. So seeing him play the Gogeta instead seems interesting to me.
What's interesting to me about the Gogeta Unison just in general is like the new and interesting ways that people keep like finding to implement it in their decks. Like ever since Crown of Ret got hit, it kind of felt like that Unison's power level went down a little bit, but people have continued to find like new and interesting things to do with it.
And I know in this situation, this particular match, Gogeta is probably safer than probably most matchups because Jimmy doesn't side Smoke Dragon. And I do agree, and especially like Gogeta, where you pay 2 energy to play Gogeta, you're playing a 15k swing that practically draws you a card and then plays you a 1-drop. In this case, it gave him way more fuel. You turn around and pay 2 energy to snipe it. He's already gotten everything out of that card he needed for that turn, and then got you to just burn 2 energy. Now, granted, you wouldn't be able to do it yet because you want. I think you have to have a specified amount of cards in your drop to do that effect, though.
So, to talk about Unisons, I have Shinron Unison the Rescue up on my field. I was looking at a lot of different options for early game Unisons because Towa wants to play the Super Mirror Unison on turn 3. It's a specified 3-cost Unison, which is very steep for black. And kind of can put you in some really awkward situations going into turn 3 at the pace that the game is going right now. But being able to slam this Unison down, it has decent interaction with skillless battle cards, which the tokens coming out are skilllesses, and you can target them, give one double strike, and draw a card. So small draw engine, no specified cost, so it's searchable off of the 1-drop Poutine. And the 1-drop Poutine also requires a spirit boost. So being able to get my early swaps in is really nice as well. And to go back a little bit to what happened in that turn, I gave my token, which is just a 5k double strike, and turned it sideways at him. And that type of pressure, especially against someone that doesn't exactly know what's going on with Token Toa, even though it's a 5k double strike token, he ended up burning a Wolfang Fist to kill off my token that I spent nothing on. So just having that little bit of like scare factor off of this Unison is really strong as well. And if he didn't blow it up, I could have comboed up, which I probably wouldn't have, but I could have comboed up and tried to deal some damage with it. But otherwise, like I went positive in card advantage just by plussing on my Unison.
And sometimes it's like difficult to remember like card economy and all that stuff. Like when there's a lot of like tokens and things that your opponent necessarily didn't spend cards on going on the table. And it's really easy to fall into those traps and kind of spend cards on something that your opponent didn't spend cards to get and kind of start whittling your own hand down that way.
I know he plays a ton of negates in his deck because I know in our matchup I got him to burn a lot of them very early on. So and I know Steve. I feel like Steve's experience, what I could recall, is he likes mid to long formats. So he likes to kind of play it safe as long as he can until he's ready to kind of pop off.
Yeah, I do believe like almost every time I turned a card sideways, he stopped and thought about activating a negate, which I mean did put me kind of on edge because I was scared of what he might be able to do, and I know Red does have some potential to clear cards within the counter step. And with most of my cards being 15k or below, they're very vulnerable to Red's removal.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong. I think this leader, with its spirit boost ability, mixed with this particular Unison now, negs a card by 10k. I want to say.
Yeah, that is only on his turn.
It's only on his turn. Okay.
Yeah. So the Gohan can boost combo power on either turn, but the Unison can only neg 10k on the Gohan player's turn.
Yeah. Now, him dropping Pan, I know in my matchup against him, when he played Pan, I was like, okay, cool. I know I'm safe from the Vegeta Secret Rare now, because I didn't know if he had that or not. And I don't feel like... I guess Steve could get a good enough board for Pan to be free, but you do help him a lot in this particular matchup to get that off.
Oh yeah, the token. I mean, token plays alone can put Pan on the board for free. I did proc Mira here to remove Pan. Uh, I would have liked to have been able to spawn 2 tokens to utilize with my Poutines on his turn, but I know he does have a Trios loaded under his Unison, and that's just going to be a field wipe.
Yep.
So I was not trying to bank too hard on using Poutine, and I felt just removing that 40k was a lot stronger. I do want to talk about this Goku package. The Goku Adventure package is just fantastic in Towa. The 4-star ball has great synergy with the tokens, them being skilllesses. You can turn them into 15Ks and then pick the ball right back up with Goku. The Poutine swap requires you to bottom deck a card. Being able to bottom deck and then just grab the card back and go, positive uncarded or even on card advantage is very nice. And you can slip in the Super Fin package if you would like to be able to play a 2-drop skillless, but that is not completely necessary. I don't think I have it in this build. I think I slipped it in after this night. But if you're planning on playing Token Toa, 100% play the Adventure Begins Goku.
I will say so we did get a profile of the of your deck, which will be on the channel after this video drops.
Mm-hmm.
When you showcase that, I was like, oh man, that's such a great idea. If I ever go back to Deborah, that's something that you have to add. I never thought about that beforehand. Because, like you said, getting rid of those cards as part of the swap in a deck, especially that doesn't draw a lot, hurts.
And Deborah actually might be kind of a decent deck now with the Toa Z battle card, which is my only Z battle card that I have in this deck because I forgot to grab the Vegetas, so that 1-drop Vegetas, and I don't have access to the Majin Boos.
I don't know if you really need that though, do you? Those Vegetas for this deck.
There's a Mira too, right? Z battle card. Or is that one not any good?
I might be blanking on it if there is one.
I think it's a black, 2 specified black Mira. I don't know if it's any good though.
Shit, I didn't know about it. I don't know if it works for Towa or not, but yeah, I am running the Towa that's made for Deborah. It can activate main. I can bottom deck a card and throw out a 2 or less swap target, which is my Poutine. In the grindier, longer matchups, that card does have some value if I'm able to establish my Goku, be able to board the Towa, pitch for Towa, then go back into my swaps. There we go. Finally got it out.
Uber play. That's nice.
Yeah, I felt pretty good at this point. He was able to clear my board, and I did pick up Cumber off my life, I believe. So I did feel pretty good about being able to board this. I chose not to remove the trios and instead get rid of the draw. So I do want to talk about this moment here. He activates Unending Awakening, and I don't know what happened within the time that he activated Unending Awakening and me swinging with this Goku, but I just completely blanked that he got the 5k boost. So this entire turn, like my one or so combos is just me trying to clear out his hand so I can go for, a big swing, not accounting for this 5k boost. And I don't know what happened to me in this moment, but the entire time I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm fucking this man up.
So you're like, oh, I'm 5 up on the leader here, with this overrealm. Just drew 2 cards.
Yeah, and I'm not even like paying attention to like what he's comboing off. I just know he's comboing, and I'm going good. He's getting rid of cards. Not paying attention to what he's comboing or how much he's comboing. Like it's locals. I trust my locals not to cheat me and combo less and call it a day. But this entire time, I am just like sitting there like, hell yeah, I'm fucking this up.
I
Like
mean,
I'm about to clap this man.
bright side, you're swinging a bunch of 20Ks. So it creates that illusion where it's like in your head, like, okay, he has to come off, just get out of it regardless. But if you would have swung for 15K, I think that would have made a difference. You go, what are you doing, man? You got a combo. And he's like, then that would kind of like give you an idea, oh, okay. But since it hasn't happened yet, it creates, like you said, that illusion in your head where you're not connecting that dot and you just kind of like whatever happened went in one ear and out the other.
Mm-hmm. And at this point, like I'm looking at his hand and I'm looking at his life, and I'm like, dude, like damn, like how many cards did you have in your hand? I'm not saying this out loud, but I'm sitting there, I'm like, this dude is gone fucking crazy. Like he must have had like a 30 card hand. Uh, so I went for the Hail Mary play of tapping one, and I was just gonna try to grab another 3-drop poutine. Ended up whiffing on the poutine, unfortunately. And I was like, I'm tapped out. I just have to do something here. So I end up comboing my hand, which is not much. The 4-star ball will give 10k on the token. So 15, 20, 30k going into a 20k leader. And this is like when I'm realizing, when I see the dice and I'm like, oh shit, like everything that I've done at this point, just like I just threw the damn game. And I was like, well,
Ooh.
maybe I can draw something nice off of my leader. Maybe I can draw something nice. I do have Cumber up. He does have another trios loaded, and I'm like, all he has to do is play the trios, and this is game. And I'm just waiting for him to do something and just hoping that he makes the wrong choice.
Yeah.
Cumber takes 7 or less, right?
7 or less, yeah.
Take 7 or
Ooh.
less. And
Maybe support Dark Empire, you know. Maybe you'll get that.
um, and then goes to tap one, and I'm like, I'm in. I'm taking that shit. Give it to me. And I'm like, okay, let's hope he just doesn't have any more gas. Like, let's just hope that he forgot that he had the 8-drop under there. He don't got no more gas. He's got 2 more swings. I'm hoping he doesn't have a Champa. I'm hoping he just has to pass here, and then I can slap him in his face with his own Goten, because that's all I want to do at this point. I don't remember what I got off my life. I think I got like a shroom off of my life or something, like just 5k combo. Which in a deck that you want to combo every single attack, then I think we reaches for the Z deck, and I'm like, yeah. It's over. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing.
That's
like,
the thing. Like those grindy games nowadays, you have to watch your opponent's like Z energy too, because you're like, man, because they've always got access to some kind of gas.
Mm-hmm. And still at this point, I'm like, why does he not play trios? Like, just play trios, homie. Like, yeah, this works, and like, but just play trios. Just play it. Goddamn, just kill me. But I mean, the Vegeta play did get there in the end, so
yeah,
it's not like anything crazy. Got all the cards out of my hand, and I did decide to Z charge his Gohan. And then he just had to style on me by playing Mira.
He didn't even swing with the mirror.
Yeah. I'm like, homies, play that. What are you doing? Just put that on the field. Watch for dice on the field. And if they're on your opponent's leader, go, hey, does your leader have 5k? And if they go yes, then do your math properly.
With that being said, thank you for tuning in. Keep on his buttons, his links, check them out. Bye.